Hey, Torp here. Hey, got busy thinking a little bit here about our amendment rights. First, especially the freedom of speech. I've covered this quite a few times over the years here on YouTube. Got nowhere with it quick. Absolutely nowhere fast. And the second, your right to bear arms. And of course, the fourth, your right to not be searched and seized. Without a warrant, whatever. But let me get to the basic facts here. Let's just get down to the real for a second instead of using all this lingo that nobody really understands, which in my opinion is part of the problem. But that's not what this video is about. I've been watching the videos left and right on the First Amendment test and open carry and the DUI checkpoints, the Nazi checkpoints, checking for papers and all that kind of stuff. And the back and forth between what's right, what's wrong, what's legal, what's not. Cops harassing people, cops, upholding the Constitution, or cops not honoring their oath. A couple of my favorite channels are Photography is Not a Crime, of course, Honor the I Oath, and Hell Saints. These two channels particularly have grabbed my attention quite a bit. Being so that it may, I have to give my opinion about something. After watching all these videos, my favorite thing about them is that they are unedited, and the guys that make these videos, their friends, are just, they're ball full, they're just full. They got a lot of guts to do what they do. But that brought me to a question. Is it really that hard for our police departments in all the United States to actually understand that YouTube, the entity itself, has brought this education to all of us? That is to say that a lot of people didn't know they had rights. They knew about the Constitution. They've heard it a million times in their life. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. They've heard the Miranda rights a million times. But yet they still, for some reason, find it hard to believe that you actually don't have to answer the police if they ask you questions, because you have the right to remain silent. So as I'm watching these videos, I've noticed something. Even the people that are making the videos sometimes answer a lot of questions, which really aggravated me. And I left my comments, and I'm sure some of you followed that. But the one part about this that really got me the most was that the police intimidation part is the part that we could live without, only because there are a lot of cops out there that do a very good job, and they really do uphold the law. They honor their oath, and they do a good job. They protect lives, they save lives. So why is it that for some reason, either through the police academy or through their captains or through training of some sort, or some political person got in their way and corrupted some of these police officers to believe that if they intimidated us, the public, the law-abiding citizens of the public, that they could in fact make us actually trip over our own words and incriminate ourselves? That's the part that I really don't understand. Why would any police officer want to do that? Is it because they have this ego? Are they egotistical? Do they believe that they can do no wrong because they're wearing the badge? Or is it because of what they've been taught, what they've been trained to do? I'm hoping it's because it's an ego thing. Because if it's an ego thing, I can understand that. It's human nature. I got a badge, I got a gun, I'm a badass, I was bullied at school, and now I'm going to be a cop. I'm going to give you a hard time. You're going to do what I say no matter what. That would be understandable. The part that's not understandable for me is if they were trained to do this, if this was part of their training, part of the police academy, part of their captain's insight before they went out into the field, that means it's political. That means it goes up higher. That means that the people, the politicians, all the way up to the President of the United States, somewhere there's been a message sent to the new police, and even some of the police that have been seasoned in some of these states where this is not known about on YouTube, is that they believe it's right to manipulate people into incriminating themselves, even knowing that if you go to court, the first thing that a defense lawyer will say is don't talk. That's why you have to have a lawyer. The lawyer will talk for you because they understand the law. Most people think, and unfortunately would be correct to do so, is that law-abiding citizens that don't know the law are stupid about the law, in essence, are just stupid. And that the police departments, all the police departments, know this. So it's not necessary to break the law. It's just necessary to be ignorant of it for the police to do their job. That's where I get bothered. If all you have to do is be ignorant of the law in order to break a law, that's a real problem. The real solution would be watch more YouTube videos on the subject. Get educated for yourself. It's free, it's fun, and in a way it's a shout out for me to the people that I've been watching, because I didn't know about any of this stuff. I always thought that if a cop asked me a question, I have to answer his question. Even if I did make a small infraction of the law, whether it be driving, walking, whatever. The truth is, you don't have to answer any questions any officer asks you. By law, you have the right to remain silent. Don't forget that. The only reason I'm saying this is because the innocent people out there that don't know that will incriminate themselves, and that's where you find your real problems. The guilty people out there, the real criminals, I could give two shits what they do. If they incriminate themselves, good. But at the same time, I would hope they wouldn't over-incriminate themselves. You should only be prosecuted and arrested for what you actually did, not something a cop made up about you or made you say. Because let's face it, taxpayer money is going to provide the prosecutor with all kinds of things to go after you for, just because a cop tripped you up and made you think that you needed to say something that you didn't need to say, because you wanted to make sure you didn't get in trouble for something else, or something at all. If this makes sense to you, please subscribe and rate and comment. I'm just kidding. I don't care about any of that stuff. But someday, when this nation turns back over and does the right thing, and our police are actually educated the correct way, that there is a presumption of innocence until proven guilty. I would like to see all those police officers on all these videos that I've seen on YouTube simply get owned in their own right. Not fired. Not suspended. No harm in any way, shape, or form. Just owned. Because they're the ones carrying the gun and upholding the Constitution. They took an oath to do it, and so did I. I took an oath to obey the law. The least the law enforcement officers could do is take their oath seriously and uphold my right as a U.S. citizen to go about my way and respect my rights. Think it's simple enough? You would think so, wouldn't you? Seems to be a challenge these days. Torp out.